Hey there, TRASTRA fans. Welcome to episode 97 of your beloved Newsreel. The big news this week is Tether releasing its Q4 2023 attestation report, showing a profit of $2.85 billion for the quarter. There are, of course, some loud criticisms out there on crypto Twitter, but that's a given with Tether. Celsius Network distributes $3 billion to creditors 18 months after freezing withdrawals. Celsius is also shutting down its apps as part of its transition out of bankruptcy. Former UK Finance Minister George Osborne has joined Coinbase's advisory council. So much for self-sovereignty and decentralization. 3 people were indicted for allegedly stealing $400 million from FTX during its bankruptcy. The theft involved SIM swapping to bypass security. Also, hackers, that's a different story. Hackers stole $112 million of XRP from Ripple co-founder Chris Larsen's personal wallets. The US government is surveying energy use by crypto miners over concerns about electricity demand and prices. German police seized 50,000 bitcoins worth roughly $2.2 billion from 2 men accused of piracy and money laundering. India maintains its 30% tax on crypto profits despite industry's hopes for leniency before elections. Ouch. Polygon Labs laid off 19% of its staff to streamline operations. Ripple transferred $27.7 million in XRP. I'm sorry, 27.7 XRP. That's about $14.4 million to Bitstamp as part of a routine management. I feel things aren't as simple as that. We'll discuss it later in the video. Despite record revenue, Meta's Reality Labs lost over $4 billion in 2023. We'll talk about the curious Meta's revenue calculations. What else? Over half of new Ethereum-based tokens may be involved in pump and dump schemes, according to Chainalysis. Duh. But they account for very little trading volume, so it's more curious than actually alarming. A new AR crypto game called Solana Hunger Games attracted over 130,000 Twitter followers and crashed the developer's website due to demand, and much, much more. So, as you can see, we have lots to talk about, so sit back and enjoy episode 97 of your beloved TRASTRA Newsreel. This week's big news is Tether's attestation by the auditing firm BDO Italia. But according to the brilliant David Gerard and Amy Castor, quote, "It is absolutely not a proper audit and it gives Tether lots of wiggle room to make things up, something they've been extensively documented as doing in the past," end quote. Check out Paolo Ardonio, I want to say Ardonio all the time, it's Ardonio, tweeting some of the comments, kind of hilarious. Anyway, apparently the company has done really well, reporting big gains in the fourth quarter of 2023 with a net profit of $2.85 billion driven by U.S. Treasury's interest and appreciations in gold and Bitcoin in Tether's reserves. The company's excess reserves, the kind of cash and assets that are just lying around just in case, surged by $2.2 billion to a total of $5.4 billion, emphasizing Tether's apparent financial strength in case of a bank run. Tether also wants you to know that its strategic investments in sectors like mining and AI infrastructure are segregated to not impact token reserves. In other words, Tether's investments are one thing and its hush-hush lending policy is a completely different matter that has very little or nothing to do with its token reserves. To kind of further prove this point, Tether stated that cash and cash equivalents are backing 90% of issued tokens. According to the company, the total assets of Tether reached over $97 billion, exceeding its liabilities and strengthening its financial position. Celsius Network has started distributing $3 billion to creditors having emerged from Chapter 11 bankruptcy 18 months after pausing user withdrawals. Creditors will receive cryptocurrency, fiat, and shares in a new Bitcoin mining company called Ionic Digital, according to Celsius' approved reorganization plan. A portion of the $3 billion will be used to set up Ionic Digital, with Miami-based mining company Hut 8 overseeing Ionic's operations under a 4-year management agreement. As part of the transition, Celsius also plans to phase out its operations by closing down its mobile and web applications. Just a reminder, Celsius declared bankruptcy in July 2022 with a reported hole of $1.2 billion in its balance sheet. Last year, Celsius and its founder and former CEO Alex Mashinsky were sued by several U.S. regulators for allegedly misleading customers. Mashinsky was also charged with fraud. His trial is scheduled to start in September this year. Former British Finance Minister George Osborne has joined cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase as a global advisor. Osborne, who served as Chancellor of the Exchequer from 2010 to 2016, it's the equivalent of the Minister of Finance, will join Coinbase's Global Advisory Council, which provides strategic guidance as the company expands its global reach. He will collaborate with other council members, including Mark Asper, former U.S. Secretary of Defense, probably a big expert on crypto, and Senator Patrick Toomey. During his tenure as Chancellor of the Exchequer, Osborne implemented various austerity policies. For those of you who don't know what that is, it basically means cutting social spending to reduce the budget deficit. He then briefly served as editor-in-chief of London's Evening Standard newspaper and is currently a partner at Robbie Warshaw LLP. It's a boutique investment bank. It sounds perfect, like a perfect self-sovereign libertarian kind of guy. Anyway. 3 individuals were charged with the conspiracy involving a $400 million theft from FTX, coinciding with the exchange's bankruptcy filing in November 2022. The scheme, led by Robert Powell, utilized SIM card swapping to access and drain FTX's crypto wallets. Co-defendants Carter Ron and Emily Hernandez were also indicted for their roles in this operation, which spanned from March 2021 to April 2022, involving identity theft and fraud across multiple states. The indictment details how they bypassed multi-factor authentication to steal from over 50 victims. So that's 400 million from 50 victims. Wow. Quite a tight kaggle, if you get my meaning. Hackers stole approximately $112 million in XRP from personal wallets owned by Ripple's co-founder Chris Larsen. The theft disclosed by Larsen involved unauthorized access to his XRP accounts. Efforts to mitigate the damage include alerting exchanges to freeze the affected addresses, with law enforcement being promptly involved somehow. The stolen funds have reportedly been laundered through multiple exchanges. Ripple clarified that the company itself was not impacted by this incident, marking it as the largest cryptocurrency theft of 2024 to date. But the year is young, so 112 million doesn't seem to be that big a deal. So, and the year is young, so we'll just keep watching. The U.S. government, particularly the Energy Information Administration, EIA, is initiating a survey to assess the electricity consumption of cryptocurrency mining operations in the United States. This decision stems from concerns about crypto mining's significant energy use, comparable to that of entire countries such as the Netherlands, and its potential impact on electricity prices and the environment. The survey aims to provide clearer insights into how crypto mining influences the United States energy system, including demand peaks that could affect consumer prices and system operations. Additionally, the move reflects a broader effort to understand and mitigate the environmental effects of rising electricity demand from various sectors, including crypto mining, amid efforts to transition to renewable energy sources. Interesting. I wonder what will they find on top of what's already been pretty well known. Authorities in the United States and Germany have announced record cryptocurrency seizures, with German federal police taking control of more than $2 billion worth of Bitcoin. On December 30th, Germany's Saxon State Criminal Police Office announced, it comes from Saxony, so it's Saxon. It announced that it had seized roughly 50,000 Bitcoins worth about $2.2 billion, comprising the largest cryptocurrency haul from the country's law enforcement agencies to date. German police said they have been actively investigating 2 men, aged 37 and 40, that's important, suspected of operating a piracy website until late 2013. The pair are accused of using ill-gotten gains garnered from the platform to purchase a sizable stash of Bitcoin. The pair are believed to have exploited copyrighted works for commercial gain and engaged in money laundering activities. No arrests were made, though, but there, largest seizure of Bitcoin in Germany to date. So it's an election year in India, and the country's crypto community faced disappointment as the government maintained its grip on stringent tax laws, notably the 30% tax on crypto profits and the 1% tax deducted at source, TDS, on transactions. Wow, 1%, that's a lot. No irony here. 1%, yeah, that's kind of steep. Despite fervent industry pleas for leniency and fears of stifling innovation, I'll take that into air quotes, the interim budget left these rates untouched, dashing hopes for a pre-election reprieve. The crypto sector's calls for a reduced TDS to breathe life back into the domestic market went unheeded, signaling a continued tough stance as the nation gears up for the polls. So, yeah. kind of sad. Polygon Labs has announced layoffs affecting approximately 19% of its staff. CEO Mark Boyran, CEO Mark Boyran explained in a February 1st blog post that the decision was made to create a more efficient and agile organization rather than due to financial difficulties. Sure, yeah, absolutely. Boyran emphasized that the layoffs were not an easy decision, but were necessary to enhance performance and return Polygon Labs to its underdog roots. Polygon co-founder Sandeep Nelwal echoed the sentiment following a previous round of layoffs in February 2023, where Polygon cut 20% of its staff as part of internal restructuring efforts. So it's, the trend rages on. BlackRock reportedly cut 3% of its staff in January. Payments firm Block also reportedly laid off 1,000 employees to streamline operations, and so on and so forth. Oy vey. Ripple Labs executed a significant XRP transaction transferring 27.7 million tokens, equivalent to about $14.4 million to Bitstamp. This move apparently is part of Ripple's routine financial asset management, executed regularly by a wallet linked to Ripple Labs since February 2022 to align with Ripple's monthly escrow releases to ensure a stable XRP supply and mitigate market disruption risks. In other words, it's all good, and by no means is Ripple dumping $14 million worth of freshly minted XRP on the open market. Nothing to see here, folks. Meta's Reality Labs had its best quarter, but still lost more than $4 billion. I'm going to call this segment Meta's Curious Arithmetics. Meta's Reality Labs reported its highest quarterly revenue exceeding $1 billion, driven by sales of Quest headsets and Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses, naturally. Despite this achievement, Reality Labs faced a $4.6 billion loss for the quarter, contributing to a total yearly loss of over $16 billion. These losses are attributed to Meta's heavy investment in product development and ecosystem expansion. Overall, Meta reported a strong quarter with $40.1 billion in revenue and growth in daily active users to 2.1 billion. However, Meta plans to stop reporting Facebook's user metrics. So if you plan on advertising on the platform, yeah, pretty soon you'll be shooting in the dark there. So just, think twice about that. Over half of the Ethereum-based tokens introduced on decentralized exchanges last year might be involved in pump and dump schemes, according to a Chainalysis report. Despite this concern, these tokens represented only 1.3% of total trading volume, indicating a limited impact on the broader market. The Chainalysis crime report took a close on-chain look at over 160,000 tokens and found that such schemes collectively earned $241.6 million, averaging about $2,500 per operation. Next to nothing. And finally, a new augmented reality crypto game called Solana Hunger Games has taken the crypto world by storm since granting early access last Monday. The game, developed by studio GGZip, has attracted over 133,000 Twitter followers and crashed the company's website after receiving 2 million page views in the first 24 hours. Solana Hunger Games is modeled after the popular book and movie series The Hunger Games, obviously, with players taking on the role of a hunter and exploring cities in search of AR G-boxes filled with tokens called G. The more G a hunter collects, the higher they rank on the in-game leaderboard displayed on the GGZip website. In addition to hunters competing for G rewards, there is a betting element there. Sponsors can acquire player cards and wager on their favorite hunters' odds of winning. As hunters move up and down the leaderboard, the value of their player cards shifts as well. There you have it. So the metaverse is very much alive. Gaming is very much alive. Everything is moving swiftly and smoothly, and everything's fine. And on that positive note, I'm going to end this video. Thank you so much for watching episode 97 of your beloved Newsreel. Make sure to subscribe to all our social, YouTube, TikTok, become a member of our Telegram community, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.
From New York City, and you're watching Shift. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Shift Swim.